A very warm welcome in the class of Mathematics 3. Here we are dealing the module of abstract algebra. Specifically, we are talking about group theory. Today's topic is subgroup, and we are going to discuss the definition, properties, as well as some examples of subgroup. Myself, Rupak Bhattacharjee, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, JIS College of Engineering. So, the prerequisites for this discussion, basically you are going to see that in almost all the cases the prerequisites are near about same. The prerequisite for this class is basically the idea on group, what is elaborately discussed in the previous classes, as well as we need the properties of group. You know that the closure property, associative property, identity property, inverse property, all these are very important with the examples. And then we need, obviously we all have, otherwise the concept of group is not possible. Still we have to revisit the concept of subset. That means if you have a set, when you are talking about a subset, and what are the related properties of that one. Now with this we need also some basic operations, because we know that in case of group and its related problems we have to think for the binary operations, and the binary operations are obviously first to be tested and then it will be implied on all the problems of groups. So now coming into the discussion of the main part of today's topic is the definition, where we are going to define that if we have, as abstract algebra is a very specific thing, so we have to give some emphasis on the definitions and the properties. So we are taking G star is a group and H be a non-empty subset of G. That means we are talking about the set H, which is a subset of G, as well as it has to be non-empty. We know that G is non-empty for group, but we need the subset also as a non-empty set. And then we take the same operation, the operation for which the group is taken is called a subgroup of G if H star is a group. That means it basically follows two properties. First one, it has to be a subset, and the second one, that it has to be a group itself. Then we, together with these two, gives you the confirmation that H is a subgroup of the group G, obviously along with the same binary composition. We see that some examples, that if we consider the group Q plus and its subgroups Z plus, you know that Z is a set of integers and Q is a set of rationals. So all integers are coming into the set of rationals. That means the property, required property for subset, that is Z is a subset of Q, it is satisfied. And we know that Q plus is a group. We also know that Z plus is also a group. So Z plus can be considered as a subgroup of Q plus, and the identity element of both these groups is 0. It has to be, because the operation, binary operation, is same. Now if we consider an element A is in Z, so it will be obviously in Q because Z is a subset of Q, and the inverse of A is in Z because Z plus is a group, as well as it will be in Q because Q plus is also a group. So in other words, we can say that the inverse of A in Z and the inverse of A in Q will be same, because the element is same, the element we have taken same, the operation is same. So one element with the operation fixed have the same identity, same inverse element, because inverse is unique, already we have this property in group. So in general, what the results we are getting, that is If we take a group G star and if we take a group H star where H star is a subgroup of G star, then identity elements are same. It has to be from this discussion. And if we take one element H from capital H, then the inverse of H in capital H and the inverse of H in capital G is same. So you can take as an example that if you are considering, suppose, the element 3 in Z, and if you are taking the operation as plus, so it will give you minus 3. And if you consider this 3 and plus in the context of Q and plus, then also it will be minus 3, because ultimately you are trying to find out the inverse element of 3 will operation of usual addition. So now proceeding further, what we get is that another example, that we are going to consider the following list of groups. All are these groups: the singleton element 0, then plus, the Z plus, Q plus, R plus, C plus, and what we see that 1 dot, Q minus 0 dot, otherwise it will not be a group, R minus 0 dot, C minus 0 dot, where plus is the usual addition operation and dot is the usual multiplication operation. Each group is a subgroup of the group listed to its right. So for example, Z plus is a subgroup of Q plus, R plus and C plus, and R minus 0 dot is a subgroup of C minus 0. That means you check where the operations are same, but you can write the singleton set 0 is a subset of Z, Z is a subset of Q, Q is a subset of rate of real numbers R, and it is a subset of C, set of complex numbers. And for this one also you are getting the same thing. It is a subset of this one, this is a subset of this one, this is a subset of this one, and if this is a group and this is a group, so obviously this one will be the subgroup of this one. This is beautifully discussed in this particular part. Now proceeding further, what we get is that we are having another theorem, that if we have G be a group and H be a non-empty subset of G, the important property for identification of subgroup is that, most importantly, you have to observe this line, if and only if, that means it is necessary and sufficient condition for being a subgroup, that AB in H, then AB inverse will be also in H. So if you take one subset, non-empty subset H of G, and if you are taking two elements from A and B from H, then if AB inverse is in H, it is going to give you the confirmation that it is a subgroup, and vice versa. If you get this one, it is a subgroup, and if it is a subgroup, it will be. Now look at this. If we go for the particular proof, what we see, that if we take that it is a subgroup, that means we are taking from the left hand side to right hand side direction, then as it is a subgroup, it is obviously a group. So if it is very much simple, that if B is in H, then B inverse must be in H, and A is in H, B inverse is in H. According to the closure property of group, A composition B inverse must be in H. What is our required target to prove? So if we consider H is a subgroup of G, then it is very much clear that for all AB in H, AB inverse will be in H. Now another direction is left. Conversely, what we have to show, that if H is a non-empty subset of G, such that AB is in H implies AB inverse. Now it is my assumption, we have to prove that H is a subgroup. In the previous case, H is a subgroup is my assumption, and we have proved this one. Now as H is a non-empty set, obviously there exists A in H, obviously there will be some element. Now if we consider A is in H, then we can write that A composition A inverse also is in H, which is nothing but E. So please try to understand what is my target. My target is to prove that it is a subgroup. That means it is a group, and gradually we are going to prove all the properties which are important for being a group. So what is there? We have already proved that E is equal to A composition A inverse is in H. That is, H contains the identity. Next, if we have considered B is in H, already we have considered A is in H, then E and B is in also H, which implies B inverse, which is EB inverse is in H, because B inverse is nothing but EB inverse. So thus every element H has inverse is in H. We got that every element of H has its inverse. Now proceeding further, what we see that to show that, because the remaining are closed property, associative property. So if we have to show that H is closed under the binary operation, we are assuming A and B is in H, then A and B inverse is in H. It is already proved. Then we can write AB is equal to A B inverse inverse, because it is also discussed in the last class that B inverse inverse is nothing but B. So AB can be written as AB inverse whole inverse is in H. Hence, H is closed under the binary operation. What binary operation? The binary operation star. Now, from the statements preceding term definition 4.1.1, that means the definition of subgroup. Associativity also holds. So ultimately, we have proved associativity, identity, inverse, and closure. So we can say that it is a subgroup of G. So this completes the proof. Now proceeding, what we get, that another theorem, it is basically a property or a nomenclature you can say, but it is important, that if we have G be a group, we are structuring another particular set where we talk it about if B is in G such that AB is equal to BA. Please try to concentrate on the definition. If you are taking B is in G and AB is equal to BA for all A in G, then ZG is commutative subgroup because AB is equal to BA of G. Now ZG is a commutative subgroup. Commutative is clear. Now subgroup, because you have to prove, or rather you can prove that if this property holds good, then all the requirement for being a subgroup is true. And the name of this particular subgroup is a special name. We call it the center of G. So if we have a set G non-empty and it is a group under operation star, then this particular structure or set is called the center of G. Now we can prove it also that it is going to be a subgroup, though it is not very much linked. Still you can follow this particular thing, that if AE is equal to A is equal to EA, then for all A in Z, G, E is in ZG, because E is following this particular property for all elements of Z, and then we can consider A is in Z. So our first target, that ZG is non-empty, is proved. This is our first target, because to make it group we have to show that it is non-empty according to the required condition. Now then BC is equal to CB, because A and B is in ZG, and BC is equal to CB for all C in G, because what we are getting, that if it is there in the ZG, it follows this particular condition. So from this it also follows that CB whole inverse is equal to B inverse C. Why? Because again the same logic, and as B is there, B inverse will also be present. So we can claim that B inverse is in ZG. So what we have started with B, and we have proved that B inverse is in ZG. And finally, after applying this operation AB inverse C, and it is nothing but the associativity what we have used, and then we have used this particular thing from this particular property of ZG, and finally we show that this is C on AB whole inverse. So what we see, ultimately it is getting reversed. So for all C in G and so AB inverse in ZG, so it is a subgroup, because we know that our requirement for making it is a subgroup is this particularly. If A and B is in H, then A composition B inverse is also is H. Okay, now for the next particular thing, what we see, that we have to make some problems for this particular discussion. First one, what we see, that if we go for the subgroups for our known structure, that is, we have already proved that 1 minus 1 I minus I along with usual multiplication forms a group. Now for our understanding, what we have discussed here, if we take the set 1 minus 1 along with the same usual multiplication, what we see, first of all, this 1 minus 1 is a subset. We can take this 1 minus 1 is a subset of 1 minus 1 I minus I. Now you can take this particular set and you can just start doing the all properties for being a group. 1 into 1 is 1, minus 1 into minus 1 is 1, 1 into minus 1 is minus 1, so closure property holds good. Now as it is usual multiplication, automatically associativity will be hold here. Now as we know, according to the usual multiplication, the identity element is 1 and we get identity element present in this set. Finally we have to show that all elements are having its inverse present in this, and we know that 1 inverse is 1 here and minus 1 whole inverse is equal to minus 1, because minus 1 into minus 1 is going to give you 1, which is nothing but the identity element. So we are able to show that all these properties are true for this particular set, which is nothing but the claim that we can make this as a subgroup of the previous given group. Clear? Now we are going to make some more properties of this one. The property tells us that let G composition be a group and H, K are subgroups of G composition, then H intersection K is a subgroup of G composition. It's a very important and strong result. Please try to understand the result, that if you have H and K, they are subgroups of a same group, then their intersection will be a subgroup. Now for obvious reasons, if you take 1 minus 1 I minus I, it is having two subgroups. One is 1 minus 1, another one is itself. If G is this, it is also a subset of this one, it forms a group. Now if you take the intersection of these two, you will get again 1 minus 1, and you have already proved that this is a group or subgroup of G star. So intersection, what is coming, as it is again the subgroup, that means it substantiates this particular claim. It is not the formal proof, it is for your verification. Proof is going to be done with the help of that particular property, that A B is in H implies AB inverse is in H and vice versa. Now we can go for another important property, that the union, obviously the question will be coming, what is for the union? The union of two subgroups of a group. The union of two subgroups of a group G is not necessarily a subgroup of G. Look at this. Intersection gives you subgroups but not the unions. It is not at all guaranteed that it is going to be a subgroup. And another property also I want to mention, that the intersection, because these types of properties sometimes helps you in some higher or competitive examinations related to your academics. The intersection of an arbitrary family of subgroups of a group G can you tell me, can you imagine that what is going to be there? Because intersection of two is a group, but the intersection of an arbitrary family of a subgroup of a group G, what will be that? The answer is, it is also going to be a subgroup of G. So it is a very strong result, and you can also, if you are interested, you can go also for the proofs of these particular properties. Now we are going to discuss something more related to this one, is that some more examples related to subgroup can be discussed in the form of this, because if we take this particular property or this if we take, let H be the set of all real matrices. Clear? What is the structure? Structure is A, B, C, D, this matrix such that AD minus BC is equal to 1. Already, if we have gone through the previous lectures, you got that we have discussed this specific problem for the proof of group. Now we can show that it is a subgroup of the GL2R. That means GL2R means it is a subgroup of all real non-singular matrix of order 2. Here it is specified as 1, and if I give the thing as simply this, so it is a special case of this one, so it is going to be a subset, and if it is a group, and it is a group along with matrix multiplication, then you can claim that this is going to be the subgroup of this group. This is one way. Another way is that to prove it by the help of AB inverse is in H. So we are giving you the clue for both. Now it's your thinking process, that's what you are going to adopt. And we can start here in this class about one idea which is related to class. Class means, suppose you are taking a number 5. After that you take the number 1, divide it by 5 and take the remainder, you will get 1. Then you take 2, the same process. Then you take 3, then you take 4, then you take 5, and then if you take 6, the remainder is 1. 7, remainder is 2. 8, remainder is 3. 9, 4. 10, 5, means 0. So on and on and on. So in the upper part, the numbers are changing for each and every moment. But in the lower part, after a certain time, you are getting a pattern. This gives us the idea of residue class. We write that 0 residue class as those numbers which are giving 0 as remainder after dividing it by 5. So we should write it as this one, but in general we are writing as 0 class, and this will be 0, 5, 10, 15 and so on. Not only that, you can use plus minus sign over here because you will get the same result for this. Now for 1. So for 1, what you are getting, an infinite collection, that is 1, then 6, then 11 and so on. But what are the negative numbers? So look at this, the beauty, the gap is 5 always. Anything you are going to take or multiple of 5. So from this background, if you want to go back, actually you are going to get 5 from 1 to 1 to 0, 0 to -1, -1 to -2, -2 to -3 to -4. So -4 will be in the same category, then -9 will be in the same category and so on. So what will be for 2? It will be 2, 7, 12, and obviously in the left hand side is -3, -8 and so on. In this way you can go for class 3 and class 4, but after that nothing is remaining because you will get to back to class 0. Now if you consider one set, suppose Z, and we are denoting it as by Z5, such that it will contain all the classes, residue classes after dividing it by 5, then you will get this one, and it is nothing but a non-empty set. Now what operation we are going to associate with this to make it a group, or what are the operations and what is the definition of those operations so that we can combine it to make it a group. So Z5 is known to us. Suppose we are defining class addition as, clear? So let us check what is the case for Z5 plus? So, as we know that Z5 is having 0 bar, 1 bar, same thing, 3 bar, 4 bar. So 0 bar plus 1 bar is equal to 0 plus 1 bar, that means 1 bar. 1 bar plus 2 bar, that is 1 plus 2 bar, that is 3 bar. 4 bar plus 3 bar, that is 4 plus 3 bar, that is 7 bar, that is 2 bar, and so on. So you will get that this structure is going to become closed. And similarly, when you are going to do this one, A class, B class plus C class, for this you can get it at A class plus B class plus C class. That means it is going to be associative. The question is, what is about the identity elements or the existence of this one? So A class plus gap is equal to A class, what it should be, and 0 class is present in this particular set, so it is having the identity element in this particular set. And finally you need something here to make it 0. Can you get it? Look at this. What should be here to make it 0? If you write 1, it will be 2, it will be 2, it will be 3, if you write 3, it will be 4, if you write 4, it will be 5, 5 means 0, so 1 and 4, obviously 2 and 3. So all the elements are having inverse because 0 inverse is 0 class, 1 inverse is 4 class, 2 inverse is 3 class, 3 inverse is 2 class, and finally 4 inverse is 1 class. So all the elements are having inverse element, and this inverse element is present in this set Z5. Clear? So what is our conclusion is that Z5 plus is a group. Now your job is to check the commutativity of this group, and your job is to find out a subgroup if exists over here, and obviously your job is to find out the subgroup of this one Z6 plus. So we have used the references from these two textbooks, and also I have used some references from internet for my own learning. And finally, these are the assignments for you. Please try to solve these assignments with full attention. Finally, I want to thank you all for your kind patience. Happy listening, happy learning.